Drill team, I find, is an excellent sport for both a rider and the horse. It allows that rider to really gain their horsemanship and become very diverse in their riding skills, learning how to ride with the horse, how to turn the horse, working in that group, in following that lead of other horses. It just provides a great experience both for that horse and the rider. Drill team came out of cavalry riding, and so it was used to practice the drill maneuvers on ground and horseback and used during wartime. It moved into being more competition riding over the years, although our team is really just set up in terms of being more for entertainment. We have 7 riders on our drill team this season, and we have a wonderful mom and daughter team. Our youngest rider, I believe she's in 6th grade, and our oldest rider is in her 60s, the owner of the ranch. That's one reason I love drill team. We don't have many multi-generational activities nowadays, and so it just brings a lot to the experience.
Ann is an exceptional teacher in this. She breaks it down so you understand it, and I'm a slow learner, and so that really helps me. I'm 65 years old, and I can still learn new things.
We call Pam our walking jukebox because she loves music from all eras, and that's one unique thing about our drill team. Drill team usually uses Western and country music, and we honestly, we've rode to ABBA, to James Brown, to, so the kids are getting this little music lesson as well. The only thing we have is that we all have to like it, and it all has to make us happy and have a good beat. A lot of times I'll just see the pattern in my mind, and then I'll start drawing those patterns out. So there's a pretty intricate way that you draw the patterns so that it's almost like the kids all have a map. How we practice the formations is usually we'll learn up to 3 or 4 formations at a time, and then move on from that.
She knows what she's doing, and it's fun, yeah, and it's entertaining to know what you're doing.
I like to do pinwheel. It's where one side turns one way and then the other side turns the other way. So it's just going in a circle in a line.
My second favorite would be X marks the spot, and that's where we go to the back of the arena, and then it's just like every other, we're coming across, and literally we're making X's as we go across.
I like it when we do the crack the whip, it's called, so you have the horses lined up, and it kind of looks like a spiral because they're all turning in a circle at the same time, with the outside horses are moving faster. That looks really cool from the ground.
One of the horses in our drill team, we've named Zorro, and he was rescued by the Minnesota Hooved Animal Rescue Foundation, MARF for short, several years ago from a farm that had several deceased horses on it, and he was so weak he couldn't stand up for 2 weeks. My vet said I was going to euthanize him. He was that bad. And he's got more energy than 10 horses right now, and he can go all day, and he's very open-minded to learn all kinds of new things, and what can I say? He's part of the family here now. I have a lot of pride in being able to take care of these animals and to show others how to take care of them. With my very first horse, nobody taught me how to take care of him. And when he meets me up in heaven, he's going to say, "So what's with the box of cornflakes you gave me one day?" I didn't know how to feed them. I fed them hay and grain, but then sometimes I'd run out of food. I didn't have much money. And now I'm very strict on we eat a balanced diet. We have nice clean hay. We make sure they have extra hay if it's cold out. And I'm training the next generation because when I'm gone, they're it. God planted the horse seed in me from infancy. And I've spent my whole life watering that seed. And I went from wishing I had a horse to managing 23 horses. My first job in a horse barn, which I was totally thrilled to get, was taking care of 40 horses by myself. And I was so tickled because I was making $100 every 2 weeks. That's $50 a week for 10-hour days. Doesn't matter. When you love what you do, you just do it. I ventured out west to Piedmont, South Dakota, and found a trainer named Roy Yates, who was an extraordinary trainer. After a while, I got introduced to the Arabian circuit and found my home. I spent 30 years on the Arabian circuit and found lifelong friends there. And we just loved the Arabian horses for their intelligence. And went on to win dozens and dozens of regional champions. And then the last big show was the US Nationals, and I was third. Then in 1997, I decided to open up my own boarding barn. And my kids had a horse named Rick-A-Shay, and he passed away and he was 34. And he was a pretty darn good old horse. And so a friend of mine called me up and she said, I got a name for your new barn. Call it Rick-A-Shay, for Fauché with being my last name and to honor Rick. What I love most about the lessons that I do is to watch the development of the rider. Because when you can handle 1,000 pounds of animal underneath you and communicate to this animal in something other than English, and the confidence that they can do that goes far beyond this ranch. Because I have parents that come back to me and say, my child had insecurities in school and was bullied, and there's a saying out there that says, I can handle 50-pound bales of hay, pitchforks, be riding a 1,000-pound animal that could kick me and bite me, you will not be a problem.
Pam is such an excellent teacher that there's no other place I would go. I used to be scared of horses until my daughter started loving them, and now I love them too. They don't scare me anymore.
She can be like low pressure, but then she can like get kind of aggressive because like she knows that she can push us and we can do it.
I started riding horses actually from my mom's passion of wanting to learn to ride, but never got a chance when she was younger. So it was when I was 10 and my sister was 4 that she found a ranch near where we lived, Windy Ridge Ranch, out in Afton. My mom was a single mom. We lived in the inner city in East St. Paul. And so it really gave us this wonderful opportunity to just get out into the outdoors. When I was younger, I wasn't much into competition riding. And so at Windy Ridge, they started a drill team. And I thought, oh, this might be a fun just opportunity to still ride and be with horses. And so it started then, and that was back in the 80s. And that team has gone on. They were riding for 32 years, and they just threw in the towel. When my daughter, my youngest, when she was 10, she showed an interest in horses, and so when we were going searching, I really was looking for a ranch that kind of replicated those same experiences I had as a child, like a sense of community, doing things other than just competition, and overall having fun with the horses. So when we found Rick-A-Shay, it was just a great match. And then in talking with Pam Fauché, you know, she's kind of done almost everything there can be on horseback, but not drill team. And so when she found out that I had the drill history and then also rode for the Windy Ridge Riders, she said, hey, wait, you know, do you wanna start a drill team here? And so I said, sure, let's give it a shot. And now we're going on 3 summers. Growing up and being Black and biracial and being in environments I often wasn't represented, and so, and especially in the equine world. So being able to like set up spaces where people feel like they belong is so important to me. And so doing this drill team practice, I just love learning about the individual riders and the individual horses and all of us coming together and feeling like we all belong. That to me just, it's great.
You can come out here and have had the worst day, and by the time you step out of the car and already you're like, and you start to get to the barn, and then you get to your horse and you forget everything else because you get on a 1,200-pound animal, you gotta be focused.
You have a passion, like I did with horses. If you go out and follow that passion, it is no longer work. And when you come out and it's 30 below zero, you're doing it because you love these horses. You'll do it with your heart and soul. And God has blessed me He blessed me every day because I am his favorite.